Rebuilding is the intentional process of starting over, piece by piece, after disruption, loss, failure, or change. It is both fragile and powerful. It's the quiet decision to try again, the courage to rewrite your story, and the resilience to create something stronger, wiser, and more authentic from what once fell apart. This podcast is a space for those moments, opening real conversations about personal growth, real estate, business, motherhood, and everything in between. Because no matter who we are, life will always ask us again and again to rebuild. Thank you. Hola. Thank you very much for your time. I know it's very valuable. I am very excited to be having this conversation. I know, of course, your background, but please, can you take us back a little bit of when you arrived in Dubai? How was your experience within the real estate market?
So I'm originally just a normal person who left Syria when the war happened in 2011. I went to Qatar, then I came to Dubai in 2014. My background and what I studied is hospitality, hotels management. Then I stepped out of that. I decided to leave with no plan, and I came across real estate as an industry which I was not really aware of at all. What is a property? Nothing in Dubai. So this is how it started. But I just knew that I'm good at sales and things like that. And I started real estate in 2014, beginning of 2015. It was not obviously a smooth ride because the market here goes through different cycles. So in 2014, 2015, when I started, it's a completely different market than what people witnessed in the past 4 years. And now we have a unique situation that we are going through, which is a brand new, let's say, experience that we never had before. But we always know that this industry and this city is, honestly, I don't think anything in the world can beat Dubai. It's a destination for everyone who's planning or hoping to do something, or for themselves and their families. It will be always the safest place on earth, with the missiles coming or not missiles coming, because honestly, like, we have not stepped a foot outside of Dubai in the past, let's say, 1 month, and we are all still here. And we are in the office, we're coming to work. I understand, I appreciate that some people are afraid, but it's nothing is going on, and the city will bounce back 10 times stronger than what it was.
I completely agree. I would love to understand a little bit more about those cycles. Because of course, with my experience, that's exactly what I'm learning. So when I entered the market was in the same as it was 4 years ago, but now it's different, and we're reshaping, we're readjusting. And I'm super thankful for that to you, because with your experience now I know what I need to do. So, but I would love to know, because I feel as an investor or a resident, no one really knows this side of the history. They know the history, of course, of the country, but I would love to know that from the real estate background.
I mean, to make it simple, I mean, you either have a booming market or you have a slow market. Mm-hmm. So booming market, where what we had since, let's say, post-COVID, because of how the country dealt with COVID, and then we had Expo, and they had with the Russian war and the golden visa, all of this was boosting the market upwards. And and also because we don't have taxes, as you know. So all of that element plus safety and appreciation was making the country boom and the real estate industry boom. Now in life, you cannot go upward all the time. As a human being, you are healthy, then you're sick, then you're healthy again, then you're sick. So it's a normal cycle that, from an outside conflict or whatever that is, something has to slow down a little bit in order for it to pick up again. Now, if you look at real estate as an investment from just an overview, it's a very safe investment. Like, the risk element when you do real estate is extremely minimum, right? So it's not very much complicated. When you are in down market or slow market, the prices will go down, but there are still buyers and there are still tenants. And when the market is higher, you pay higher price for the same property that you are selling for $1 million today, but in a high market you will sell it for 1.5. So that is the norm. As real estate agents, we need just to adjust based on the current market price. Because, for example, as of today, right, what kind of buyers we have today in the market? We are now having buyers who are hunting on the best possible deal they can get, because they know they will be able to squeeze the sellers if they want to sell. In a high market, it becomes seller's market. This is my price, this is my property. Take it or leave it, right? Okay. So this is the cycle: buyer market, seller market, as easy as it gets. Exactly. And when it comes to off plan, developers will be more flexible in a slow market in terms of how they adjust their payment plan, how they, the kind of offers and promotions they promote. In our market, well, this is my property. 80-20 payment plan, 90-10 payment plan. Take it or leave it because someone else will take it. So the narrative is very clear. Either this or that.
So I would love now to move into the uncertainty. Okay, so you went through COVID, which was a global health crisis in the world. Now we're going through geopolitical, challenges right now. Both represent uncertainty. So comparing both scenarios, although we're still, we're 6 weeks in to the current situation in Dubai and within the region, I would love for you to compare in terms of obviously real estate, what happened in COVID with regards to uncertainty and how was the uncertainty dealt, with during COVID, and then how can we compare that to now?
See, what I learned from COVID, when I saw COVID, I mean, obviously that's a global pandemic that affected everyone. But what I witnessed myself is basically how a lot of people panicked and they sold their properties for peanuts. And who actually benefited from that when the market went back upwards. So there was, let's say, take an example, Jumeirah Island, a villa were being sold for 4 million, 5 million in COVID. People just wanted anything and get out, right? The same villas within 2 to 3 years were selling at 30 and 40 million dirhams. So the guy who bought this villa at 4.5, he's made 500% premium in a span of 2 years. So this is why I keep saying, and now going to the current situation, yes, it's different. It's a different situation because it's, on the city or the country itself or the region in general, but it's very temporary. So you cannot repeat the same mistake as a seller and just panic and try to sell based on the current market price, which is actually identified by whatever the buyer is going to pay for that.
Exactly.
And what he's willing to offer. And then you are forced to accept it because he is doing that simply because he knows that he's gonna make way more money than you are because you are just panicking. Now, I understand one thing and one thing only. If you are selling because of panic, then you are in the wrong. But if you are selling due to financial situation that is, you need cash, I totally understand. That is absolutely fine. We all go through this. But don't sell because of panic.
Okay.
So
stay regulated.
Stay where you are. Listen, like I can't say all properties are the same. Some developments are different. Some properties are different. So it depends on what kind of property. But simply only sell because you want some cash now, not because you are uncertain of how the market is going to go.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that clarifies it. Yes, there is uncertainty. Yes, it's something that is out of our hands, but we cannot let our emotions drive.
No. Not your emotions, also what people like play with your head, play with your emotions.
Media.
You see media, whatever, all of that, this is created always, even in the stock market. It's all driven by politics, driven by fear, driven by all of that. But you just need to understand that, what are you investing in? You are investing in a property in Dubai. What is Dubai? Dubai is top 10 cities in the world.
Yes.
Right? Is Dubai going to vanish? Of course not. Dubai is going to thrive and going to get better. Now, if you lose your property because of that panic mode, not because you need money, then you are in the wrong.
Okay. Unless you need to liquidize because of your personal finances, then yes, exactly. But then also know that it's going to be less than the market price 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But unless that's your scenario, don't. Just hold on to it and wait.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. Very clear. Thank you. How about the region, the government? Let's talk a little bit about the government. What they did, again, comparing COVID with now because of the uncertainty.
Yeah.
What the government did, how was that bounce back? It's going to take
time. In COVID
time.
or now?
In COVID, and then how we compare it to now, because obviously we're in 6 weeks here. But just so we could picture what would happen.
The way the government dealt with COVID, for example, was something that probably the world has not seen.
Yes.
And this is that was, for me, the major factor, what made people trust Dubai more and more.
Yes.
Like everything was organized, everything was on point. We did not feel like we are just jailed in the house and things like that. No. It was very much. See, I'm a very honest person. If it was not the case, I would not say it.
Of
But
course.
that was the case. Now, now I'm here. My family is here, and I'm the same as yours, right?
Yes.
We all feel safe, right?
Yes.
If there is something, there is alerts. But actually, in reality, we have seen nothing. As we
totally.
Something that we see, there's something blowing up. We have seen nothing. It's all propaganda from the outside.
Yes.
And just like I would hear some noise, and thank you, we move on, right? So, like in other places, where I come from, and then the defense system that they have here is crazy.
Yes.
Is insane. Nothing has reached the country. So it's it's the truth, right?
Yes.
And it's not me. I'm here since everything happened, but you can actually ask any person. So, and that's how it's a wealthy country with amazing systems and amazing government. So what can go wrong?
Okay.
Right.
And the incentives that they managed after COVID or in the process of coming out of COVID, do you think we're going to see something like that?
I hope so. I believe so.
Okay.
Of course, they understand that we as expats who live in this country, we appreciate what they do, and I believe they will also support us in terms of individual basis and also on business basis. That we might need some help here and there, but I feel confident that we will pass through this easy.
And that the government will take care of on the investments.
Of course,
anyone that has been invested
100%.
or that will want to invest now, because I want to talk about that. The government is always backing us up.
100%. See, if you invested in a property in Dubai, even if God forbid something happened to the building, I'll give you an example that for people to understand. Have you heard of Address downtown? And there was a big fire that actually burned the entire building in 2017.
Okay.
So the building was completely on fire. What did the developer do? The developer refurbished the entire building, including the inside of the asset. It became a brand new building again. So that was not, a war situation or whatever you want to call it. It was just a normal fire that happened in the building with zero casualties at the time, and just the whole thing was refurbished again.
Amazing.
So what would I worry about? As I know, I am, as an individual and as a person who works in real estate, I am safe, and I know that the market will bounce, and there is no worries or fears.
Okay. Regarding moving forward, so if you are someone that has the money, is right now a good time to invest in whatever market, already built or off plan? And that was that one question. But the second question I want to know is, are there opportunities?
There is always opportunities.
Okay.
See, the city, it depends. If you're looking into ready properties right now, of course, there are a lot of opportunities. And I think there will be a lot of opportunities in the next month or so. It depends if you take advantage of it. Now, in the developer side, I think, as I mentioned before, there will be, it didn't happen yet, but I believe some developers will be starting to do some initiatives in order to, probably adjust payment plan and things like that. Again, nothing is announced firmly, but I believe that would be the case. Is it to answer your question, it's always a good opportunity to buy, but you need to understand what are you buying. Now, the problem that I've seen in a good market and a bad market, people are very much influenced by what the agent is trying to sell. Everyone will push into a certain direction that because they believe or because they pay higher commission or whatever that is. I do not function this way. I understand this is hard-earned money, and for some people, this is all the money they got. You need to be genuine and about what you are trying to sell, and you need to understand what the person is trying to buy rather than just trying to sell. Buying to rent is completely different than buying for myself, completely different than buying for capital appreciation. And this is where, I understand some developments. I'm not saying every single development in Dubai you will make money in it. No, that's not true. Some developments from certain developers you will make money for sure, or at least you will break even. So you are just actually saving your money. So this is how
handover.
Whether it's bad or good, it doesn't matter. It's very stable. So I just believe the opportunity is always there. The product sometimes is the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, because we don't really understand. Not me in particular. I feel like a lot of Asians don't really understand what is the purpose of that purchase and how can I enhance this person's life by adding more wealth to them because they trusted me in a way to to take my advice and buy this product or that product. Yeah, that's what I believe.
It's the responsibility that we take very serious.
We should be taking very serious because it's you are affecting someone's financial life by making a decision that might be not the right choice for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I think we covered very much everything. We'll talk again.
Yeah.
If that's okay with
Sure,
you.
sure, sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.